Building custom GPTs is one of my favorite ways to engage with AI. I like to think of them as personalized AI assistants or coaches trained on my custom data and goals. You can see here some of my favorite GPTs that I've built, including a running coach, a financial advisor, a life coach with a Socrates personality, a journal GPT, QuotebookGPT, and a strength coach to help me work towards doing a handstand push-up. Today I want to demo this QuotebookGPT though, so I'll click into that. And this was built as a simple way to capture and recall quotes from my own personal library of quotes that I've collected over the years. So to demo a few of the features, it can recall any loose quote that I remember. So Steve Jobs about simplicity, and we'll find the exact quote for me. It can search any author, topic, or book. So let me reference all the quotes from one of my favorite books on investing. It'll connect to my sheet and then pull all of those. And then, of course, always a great whimsy for a quotebook app is to just have a random quote generator. So pull from my history of quotes and surprise me with something good. One of my maybe my favorite feature though is the ability to add quotes as well. So if I'm reading a good book and I want to add a quote to my quote book, I can just open this GPT app on my phone and say, add this quote, and it will go and immediately add that to my quote book app or my source data. And so under the hood, this is all pulling from my own Google Sheet, and GPT just has two actions. So you can see here I have almost 1,500 quotes logged, and when I ask any of those questions to read from the quotes, it pulls from this sheet. And then when it writes a quote, you can see here added that one that we just typed in. So this is great. The simple setup removes a lot of the issues that I found when I just tried to upload a manual file. There were sometimes hallucinations. It didn't always refer to my raw data, but when I built in these tool calls of read and write from my Google Sheets, all the hallucinations went away and it always just pulled directly from my source data. So I did want to just quickly show a bit more kind of how you would set this up if you wanted to build your own GPT. So in ChatGPT, this is all listed in this GPT section. You go to My GPTs, that's where we started this demo. And you can create your GPT here, but we will click Edit to show the QuotebookGPT. And really, this could be as simple as you want. You could spin up your own one with just a name, a description, and a very simple instruction, such as a persona. Kind of like my Socrates GPT, which is really just text. There is no input data, and it just kind of tells me the instructions are to ask me a lot of questions and to take the persona of a wise philosopher like Socrates. But here in this quotebook one, this one's a bit more involved. I give it a purpose. I tell it what to do. I describe the data model or the underlying Google Sheet structure, the actions of what to do when reading and what to do when appending or writing the data, as well as the logic for how to sort and pull the best matched quote. And then also structuring the output. So I always want the output to be structured in this exact same way for some standardization. And it's been really good at that as well. And then, oh yeah, I didn't actually show this in the demo, but we could also just test over here in the app, which is a good way when you're building it out. You can kind of see the underlying features. But in addition to pulling my quote, I can also draw from the LLM as well to say, add in kind of the LLM's reflection on top of this quote. So that kind of gets to an important concept of building with AI for this example of something called RAG. So RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. And this basically means that I'm embedding my own personal context in the application to be referenced and augmented up on top of the responses that the LLM would normally just give, which would probably just be something like this. So when I first built this, my first version, was just like pulling from quote farms online, didn't have any meaning or context. And so being able to embed my own personal context from my data made this app much more valuable. So I think the last thing here is just the other big unlock that I talked about is when I started adding these actions. So this is where you can come down and actually connect to the Google Sheets API. and read from the sheet. That's what this action does, and this action writes to the sheet. So yeah, if you're interested to replicate this same Quotebook app, I've added the template and my recipe on my GitHub and linked to it in the blog post in the description of these video notes. So check that out if you want to do that or remix for your own ideas. Thanks for watching.